Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Tuesday, August 13th, 2024 by Gaia Blooming. I'm Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I expand the love and the joy vibes. So here we are, one day out from this Mars-Jupiter conjunction. I've had a lot of people ask me, like, is it bad? Is this bad, Astro? No, definitely not. And there can be a lot of good from it. And I think I've been warning you because I've seen so many anger eruptions happening around me. But there's a lot of good. There's a lot of good in this energy. And I don't feel like any astro transit is inherently good or bad, positive or negative. I think all astro comes with peaks and valleys. All the astro comes with challenges, but places where you can rise up. Even the most challenging transits are meant to help us rise up. So please keep that in mind. This is not bad, but check your anger, check your frustrations, because this energy can show you where that's at. So today is very interesting in the unfolding of this. I mentioned that we were going to have a Mercury yod coming back around, and today we have the Mercury yod happening. So the Mercury yod is Mercury retrograde heading back towards Leo. It's hitting that 0-degree energy, so words might get a little bit wonky. Words and communications, which could be part of the frustration of things, or you can laugh about it. But it's interesting because the yod is always like a big neon finger being like, this is important. So Spirit, God, Universe is asking us to look at Mercury retrograde in Virgo. Hocus pocus, bring your focus. Hello, attention. And this is good because Mars and Jupiter and Gemini can be all over the place. And so a reminder to bring your focus can help. And what are you going to focus on? Hopefully you're focusing on expanding the love, expanding the joy, like the energy mantra. Now it's interesting because we do have Pluto and Neptune feeding in, and those energies can be quite karmic. Pluto at 0, Aquarius, Neptune 29 Pisces, potentially the most karmic degree of the zodiac. So, like, you might be bobbing and weaving a little bit, dealing with some karmic energies, but even these energies feeding in, Pluto at 0 Aquarius is like, you get to choose, you get to empower what vibe you're going to ride on, what vibe you are going to focus your mind on. And Neptune at 29, while it may bring some delusion, why it may bring some karmic situations, it's also saying you get to use your illusion. Meaning you get to daydream, you get to imagine what you would like your life to be like, and focus on that can bring powerful shifts. So hocus pocus, utilize your focus in this energy. Now, this is powerful because this Mars-Jupiter energy is in Gemini, which is also ruled by Mercury. So the Mercury piece of it all is very important. And Mercury being at 0 degrees, that 0 is powerful for transformation. So there's a lot unfolding in this that you can direct. You cannot, change how people are going to act around you. If they're going to be yelly, if they want to be angry, if they don't, have the consciousness around it, that's where they're at, right? But this is for you. This scope is just for you. So you get to tune in and see how you can master yourself. Now, I also think that anger can be very powerful, and it can be very motivating, and that's part of the Mars in this all. If you are feeling anger, if you are feeling frustrated, what path can you take? How can you take action? Jupiter can expand this actional energy, so it's really going to be up to you how you utilize these energies. Now, today has us in prep for it. We have the moon finishing up in Scorpio in the middle of the night. There may be some dream sequences, some interesting energies helping to move through, and then the moon shifts to Sagittarius at 3 a.m. So moon in Sagittarius adds a little firepower to it all. It can add a little impatience to it all. So watch for the impatience, but it can also add to the inspiration and the excitability of this. I have to say that so far, even though I have seen angry outbursts around me, for the most part, this has felt very joyful for me. And this could be, part of where my astro is, but I think it's also choice and where I'm choosing to direct and where I'm choosing to redirect things. So again, hocus pocus, utilize your focus. Moon in Sagittarius can give us big picture energy. It can remind us of what is possible. Sagittarius brings the spirit of infinite possibilities. So that moon energy is going to support. Now, its first connection is going to be with Pluto. Pluto is polarizing. It could be jumping on the good vibe train. It can also be feeling the negative energy around you, drain, lack of personal power feeling. So watch for that. Moon in Sagittarius then goes to connect to Mercury square. This 0 Mercury energy. I guess at that point it looks like it's still hanging. It's right there at 0 and 1 when it happens. I think it's actually going to be at 0. So we have that square. And it's an interesting square between Virgo and Sagittarius because, again, we can have the comparison of knowledge sources basically happening between the Virgo and the Sagittarius vibes. And Sagittarius is definitely more able to jump on the, well, it's possible train, whereas Virgo's like, well, let me give you all the reasons why it's not. So you may have some of that energy. But I also think sometimes the critic is important. And hold space for that, because sometimes the critic shows us things that we're missing, and sometimes that even can enable even more possibilities. So just keep that in mind. Plus, being practical is not a bad thing, even when you have to use your illusion. So definitely some interesting energies. I want to run Wednesday's timeline by you a little bit. Mars and Jupiter will reach their conjunction Wednesday at 8:21 a.m. Pacific time. We are going to have Mercury and Pluto in their little in conjunction dance. Again, we're going to be having this yod working us. So that yod point is happening before that conjunction, and it's like, are you paying attention to where your thoughts are going? When you wake up on Wednesday, align yourself because you get to decide. You have that power. Mercury will be shifting back into Leo on Wednesday as well, late in the evening. So just FYI, it's gonna be interesting energies, but you get to decide. So I don't think I emphasized that enough the last few days. You get to decide. I hope that makes it through to you, because this scope is just here for you. Anyway, some mastery energy. So we're working to master. Now there's definitely some mental energies going on. We have the conditioning, and the conditioning card in this case can be just the conditions of your own thought, your own personal thought patterns that you have aided and abetted over the years. And we all have this conditioning that we're working to shift and unwind. But be aware of it. Bring your awareness to it and be like, oh, I see what you're doing there. The stress card. I feel like in this case, this is the frustration card. This is also connected to the Gemini energy. You may find yourself trying to overdo with all of this. So watch for the overdoing with all the Mars, Jupiter, Gemini energies. Give yourself breaks. My message from yesterday, taking, your little pit stops, on this voyage, we'll call it a voyage, is going to be really important, because otherwise you could feel overwhelmed. Make time to breathe, right? Make time to breathe and listen. We've got the comparison energy too. Gemini is so interesting because Gemini can definitely want to twin. And so, I think twinning can be really powerful. Try not to compare yourself, because Nobody's path is meant to look alike. Nobody's. And where we all are, it's personal and it's okay. So last, we've got the letting go. So just keep in mind, there may be some emotional processing happening. Let yourself process. Let yourself move through it and let it go. So Colleen's book also comes out on Friday. I'm very excited. Thank you to those of you who have purchased and sent me your proof of purchase. I'm so excited to do this raffle. I am not going to do it until after the physical copy is released for a few days, just because there's a few people who I know wanted to be part of the raffle and get the physical copy, so I will wait. I'm not sure what day I'm going to do it. Maybe for next Monday? We'll see. We'll see when it feels right. But stay tuned for that. Purchase the book. Book a reading. If you would like some support moving through these energies, please reach out to me. And the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and remember who you are, for you are the solution. Namaste.